Hey guys, good morning. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It is 5 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I've been doing a lot of thinking this morning. As soon as I got up, I was going to do a video on the group that Trump has threatened to label a terrorist organization. I'm going to call them the One Sixers. The ones, that's the phrase I'm going to use for them, the One Sixers for now. And I was going to do a video on that. I started thinking about how we have other hate groups across the country. The one in particular that's existed since the early 1800s, late 1700s, and I started thinking about that and why that hasn't been labeled a terrorist organization. If you look at both groups, I looked up this morning. Has there been any murders tied into the One Sixers, the far left group? And besides, there was one, maybe two people that ended up dead themselves. I don't think they killed anybody else. They were ended up being shot by police after they had threatened violence. Obviously, deranged people. I think you're going to have that in any group of people anywhere. I wouldn't. Overall, though, I don't see any large scale murder or anything other than rioting, looting, vandalism during protests. And I'm not condoning that, but I'm just looking at both groups. The group I'm going to call One Sixers, the one that Trump's has labeled as a terrorist group, and this other far right group that's existed since the early 1800s that wears hoods. And I really started thinking about this other group, the one that wears the hoods, and I wondered why. Why wouldn't you label that a terrorist organization? They've outright lynched, hung, burned down buildings. If that, and then I started thinking about it more, and if that isn't the complete epitome of a terrorist organization, that group, the one that wears the hoods, if that isn't the epitome of terrorism, their entire purpose as a group is to terrorize. The hoods, the burning, the lynching. I remember hearing a song called something about fruit hanging from the trees, describing lynchings, seeing bodies hanging from trees. If that isn't the epitome of terrorism, I don't know what is. And that goes beyond that. That's right up there with cutting people's heads off in the Middle East. So why aren't they labeled a terrorist organization? I'll tell you exactly why. Look at any picture of the administration these days. If you see a picture of like Trump's State of the Union address, look at the crowd. It's all white faces out there. A lot of these men, seriously, probably belong to this organization, a terrorist organization by my account. And I think even more than that, a huge number of their base belong to this organization. I don't even know what to say about that. And Trump wants to label this other group, the One Sixers, as I call them, a loosely knit, disorganized band of protesters. And I started thinking, As the last 3 years have gone by, every day, every week, we tend to normalize and get adjusted to his behavior. And if we just stop and step back and try to objectively look at where we are right now, with the President of the United States plowing a path with his police for a photo op, these calls to call in the Army, which his Secretary of Defense right now disagreed with him. Espy, I'm sorry if I got that wrong. He's going to be next to be fired. To call in military troops on U.S. citizens in the U.S. streets right now, mostly peaceful protests. If we just step back right now, I think we've become so accustomed to this behavior. 3 or 4 years ago, we worried that Trump would become a authoritarian, a dictator, fascist, and I think we've gotten adjusted and not accepted, but become accustomed to what he's been doing all along. And I started to get scared at how far down this road we already are. And our human nature has a tendency to get accustomed to the conditions of the day. And I think we've grown accustomed to this bizarre authoritarian behavior from him, and it's scary. So that's what I want to talk about for today. I'll be back a little later with another video. You guys have a good Thursday.